Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we have some Shadowverse Evolved gameplay for you. As usual, this wouldn't be Shadowverses without some Versus gameplay. So on the right you will see yours truly playing my Earthright deck versus my buddy George on the left, piloting Hero Sword just for testing purposes. So I am kind of, as you can see on the top of the screen, actually, I want to embarrassingly admit, I was recording this and my life counter was certainly in the frame, but it for some reason got cut off at the recording. But you know, it's whatever, it is what it is. So I have a life counters on the top left and right of the screen. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Let's get on to the gameplay. Bell Ringer comes down on my end. George drops the Iron Rot Defender on his end, and I will go to my turn 2, evolve the Bell Ringer and destroy the Iron Rot, and then pass to George. Bell Ringer, very crucial card against Hero for sure. Otherwise you might get high rolled, steamrolled, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, definitely a very pivotal card to play here. Now I want to let you guys know this is going to be a 3-game series, I guess is what I say. Like, there's all 3 games are in here, so you know, after this one ends there will be a game 2 and a game 3. George plays Old Man and Old Woman for 1. Not the best turn, I guess. I mean, sort of think you want to play all your play points if you can. But Old Man and Old Woman has Bane. It's a 1/2 Bane, so pretty good against my deck when it comes to Runic Guardian. Kind of keeps that card in check pretty well. But looks like I am considering playing Crafty Warlock, but I guess before that we're going to play the Teachings of Creation, draw a free card, and then we pass. So we leave the Bell Ringer up because we don't want the Old Man and Old Woman to just kind of out that for free, like literally for free, no damage you know, to itself. And if we pass on 2, that must mean we have a Surefire Bullet in hand. Surefire, another really good card in this matchup, in my opinion, unless Sword plays that 3-cost spell that summons Swordcraft from the deck, and if it's a hero, give it +1/1. So if they hit a Mock Knight off of that, it's like a 5/5 Storm after they evolve. So yeah, otherwise Surefire is pretty good. IMO. So now he's going to play the Gem Staff, and he searches the Valiant Fencer, I believe. I think I wasn't really paying attention. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just Surefire in the end phase here, just to keep pressure off of me. And now that the Old Man and Old Woman is engaged, which we did want to happen, which is why we, you know, another reason why we left Bell Ringer standing, is I think we have Remy and Rammy, but also the Crafty Warlock would have been fine. But yeah, Remy and Rammy coming down, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Gets the Strike Form Golem, trades into the Old Man and Old Woman, so it doesn't take out anything bigger than itself. And I think we're just going to go ahead and engage that Bell Ringer, because he is going to be on 4 play points here with the evolve points, all of them still available, so we don't want to take any unnecessary damage. The deck does have heals, but you know, just not that much. So he is going to play a Marrow followed by Valiant Fencer. Oh, but I think at this point we realize he's going to go through his cards and he's going to realize that he only had 4 play points and not 5, so he wasn't really paying attention. That'll happen when you keep track of your play points using Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, he uses like the levels or ranks of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards to help keep track of his play points, but clearly it does not work out so well. So he's going to realize here in a second, and I think he's just going to end up taking back the Marrow, and which doesn't make any difference essentially. Like, he's still searching the deck. Yeah, he's still searching the deck, and yeah, I think he's realizing it here. So put the Marrow back, and I'm like, oh man, should I just stop recording now or and redo it? And he's like, no, like, let's just put it back, and then it's the same thing. And I said, okay, yeah, that actually works out. I didn't realize it was you know, that irrelevant at the time. So okay, so we're gonna go to 5 play points here. These are the turns in which, you know, Juno comes in hot. I don't know if we really have it, but Felice also comes in hot. But we are going to play Runic Guardian, so making that a 4/6. Now that the Old Man and Old Woman is gone, it makes it a lot easier to drop cards like that. We're going to hit George down to 4. sorry, down by 4, so down to 16. We're going to play the Crafty Warlock for 2, just to use up the rest of our play points, ward up that Bell Ringer, and pass. So this is really, 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 really bad for Hero to stare down. They got no real way, or like, I mean, they can't outstanding followers very well if their defense is higher than 4, because Mach Knight can only do that much, and I don't think he even has, he doesn't have another hero in the, or he only has 1 hero in the cemetery, so he would have to figure out a way to get the Valiant in the grave, which Bellringer makes it a little bit tricky. So he's going to play his spell to look at the top 4 cards of the deck, play a Swordcraft Follower among them. He does hit a Mach Knight off of that, which can be good for him, because then he would have 2, yeah, there you go. So now he, with that spell going to the grave, he does have 2 in the cemetery now. Mach Knight is a 4/4 Storm currently, and he is going to evolve it. He has 2 play points left after that, but he's going to use an Evo point to evolve the Mach Knight, making it a 5/5, and he's going to be able to deal 4 damage to a follower. And right here, I think he, instead of hitting the Remy and Rammy, he's going to ping down the Runic Guardian, because 6 is just a lot. And, you know, the Remy and Rammy is already engaged, so he can out that, you know, with, I mean, already, like, you're looking at the out where he can just swing into the Bellringer with Valiant. We will draw a card, and then he's going to want to kill the Remy and Rammy because he wants to take pressure off of him so he can be the aggressor. This deck, Sword really doesn't want to ever be trading followers or be in a position where they're trading followers, but he has to, because he's staring at 10 damage on the board. He's only at 16, so he's going to attack into the Remy and Rammy, putting his Mach Knight at 5/1, and then he is going to use Unbridled Fury, I think that's what it's called, to out the Runic Guardian. So very, very good turn, very good shift in momentum. We keep our Crafty Warlock because he's basically camouflaged always. No one really pays him any mind. He's just a little 2/2 that summons a stack, so not that great. We have another Runic Guardian in hand, and I think at this point, like, we have like 2 Felices, and you can see, like, we're a little dry on our stack cards. You know, we have 8 1-drops, 3 2-drops, and I think we only hit 1 Teachings of Creation so far. So, or Junos. Juno actually would be pretty decent right here, actually, because you could play it, get some pressure off of you. You could clear the board with the Juno, because you could crash the Crafty Warlock into something, play Juno, get a strike form to out the other one, and then, like, ward up or something. But we don't have it, I don't think. So we go to another Remy and Rammy, summoning a strike form golem. Gonna trade the strike form into the Mach Knight. Right? Yeah, there we go. It's been a few days since this game, so I'm hoping that my thought process now still aligns with it. But yeah, so now we have board control. We hit George for another 2, and we only have 2 play points left. And I think that we may be out of surefire bullets, but maybe we're bluffing. I don't know. I don't think we have one. I don't remember this game, so. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna end up passing there, most likely. George looking over his evolved deck, reading his cards, because we are, I mean, we're both really new to a lot of the cards are BP3. I think we kind of, or at least me, I definitely got into this format a little bit later than everybody else because of the World's Trip and whatnot. So George summons the Amaro Knight. He's going to pay 3 to evolve it. I think he actually used all points there. He didn't use an Evo point. So that will bring back and replay something from the cemetery. So it looks like he's going for his spell, which makes sense. The Amaro can trade into the, oh no, he's gonna go for the Mach Knight. So the Mach Knight has a 3/3 Storm now, so that could trade into the Remy and Rammy, and then Amaro can attack into the Crafty Warlock, but you probably attack with that first, so that way it becomes a 4/4. Yep. Yeah, because if you crash the Mach Knight and then it was off the field, that Amaro wouldn't gain the boost on strike. So now Amaro is down to being a 4/2. Not a great position for Sword at all. Sword wants to kind of just take the lead and run away with it. So this kind of position is not at all ideal. So it looks like now, I think we have like a really weird hand too. So it looks like we end up playing Erasmus, doing 6 damage to the Amero, deal 2 damage to George, putting him down to 12, and yeah, leave us standing 6-8. That's pretty tough for, I mean, really any deck to deal with, of course. Maybe not Forest. Forest has like 3 built-in cards. Like, oh, looks at that. We have 3 Felice and 1 Rune Guardian, so we're running out of gas very fast. Yeah, sometimes those Felice can clog if you can draw like all 3 of them. This is a really weird hand. I remember though. I think we only had like the one. We only had the one access to, or not access, but we only had the 1 stat card, the Teachings of Creation. I don't think we saw any more after that. Maybe we saw a gingerbread house in this game. I don't remember. You know, I feel like I already don't even remember that. But yeah, so he's staring at this Erasmus at the 6-8 stats. He probably wants to deal with it because he is only at 12. But like I said, I mean, most decks cannot. So I don't think he's going to. He's going to just deal 3 to me, put me down to 16. Looks like he has an Iron Rot. Yeah, he's going to play the Iron Rot. It becomes a 2-3 with Ward. And I think he was trying to see if he had enough play points to get Togeteo maybe to knock it out, but he had, I mean, there was no, if he had some cards on the board already, then maybe, but he is gonna do 4 damage to the Erasmus, so that way it's easier to deal with next turn. So now we're gonna go here. So now we're clearly in the driver's seat. We have six attacks standing there. So I think what we end up doing, yeah, we just draw a Crafty Warlock. That's what I mean about Crafty sometimes, is that it's like, this is okay, you know, because he still has to deal with the Crafty most likely because he's going to be down to like 6, but he's like, I'm getting a little nervous now because he has 7 damage already up and I'm at 16, so I don't think he can come up with 9, but you know, we're clearly not nearly as in control because we're not seeing those stat cards we desperately need to. So we're just gonna end up playing the Felice standing and hope it doesn't get dealt with. It's a 4-5 right now, so it's really great stats for 4 play points. George goes to 8 here. It looks like he's going to end up using that Togeteo most likely, but I think he will probably end up using Togeteo to out the Felice, because 5 defense is a lot for his deck in general. I think he also has a yeah, it looks like he has Narita Bryan, so he could do that too, because he has exactly 8 play points. But I'm pretty sure he ends up doing Togeteo here. He has 1 more play point too. So all right, so he's going to buff the Mock Knight to being a 5-4, drop Togeteo, dealing 8 damage to the Felice, using his he's probably gonna end up using his last play point and his last Evo point to evolve the Togeteo, giving it Storm. So that's a lot of damage right there. That's 14 damage right there. But he can't leave my board up because then he loses. So he's got to figure out how he's trading. So he's going to trade the Mock Knight into Erasmus. He's going to trade the Novice Trooper into the Crafty Warlock. We get 2 stacks essentially. We summons a stack and then adds 1 on top of that stack. Hits me for 5 down to 11. And then he just kind of passes. So he cleared the board very well. But unfortunately for him, now that we got those 2 stacks, we were able to drop 1 Felice hit for 4, and the second one to wipe out the rest of the points. The Crafty Warlock ended up helping out a lot there. So very, very, very nice. I don't want to say turnaround because we were in control, but it was very fortunate that the Crafty did end up dying as we wanted him to allow the other Felices to come out of the hand. So George opens up with a Quick Blader. That's very scary considering we went second. Teachings of Creation, nice to see, but Quick Blader on 1 is pretty intimidating if we don't have a way to out it. But as long as we have, we do have a Crafty, thank goodness. So we're gonna go Crafty into straight into that Quick Blader, so leaving it at 3-2 and hoping it dies. We do have the Runic Guardian in hand too, which is a great card to drop on 3 normally if you're going first, though not if you're going second. It's just, I mean, it's not that it's bad going second, it's just not nearly as good. George drops the Old Man and the Old Woman. Just a 1-cost, 1/2 Bane. Does 2 damage to the crafty with Unbridled Fury. So I get basically 2 stacks off of that, and then he swings for 2, putting me down to 16. So yeah, he's trying to just run away with this lead here. That Old Man and Old Woman really does check the Runic Guardian here. So it's a really awkward position to be in. You see, it looks like we have I think Alchemic Workshop, Juno, 2 Ricos, which actually Ricos are actually very good in this matchup, so those are not bad at all. So I think we're going to end up we just play the Runic Guardian because there's not another play, I don't think, that we could really do. It's a 4/6, so I think we just leave this standing to just get some damage in next turn, but he is going to be able to deal with it after I've attacked with it because of the Old Man and Old Woman. So George is on 4 play points now. He really wanted to drop that Tokateo, but he doesn't have to have the play points for that. He does drop Floral Fencer, though, and that is a lot of pressure. Yeah. Big pressure there. Yeah, if we had a Remy and Rami the last turn, it would have been a much bigger help, for sure, because we would have been in a much stronger position. But I think right now we just don't have the resources here to out anything, and we're kind of just buying time until we can Rico, really. Yeah, because we have a Witch's Cauldron, but that won't add a Remy and Rami to hand. But Remy, yeah, essentially this turn or this game, we desperately needed Remy and Rami. So we're kind of thinking about whether or not we should Runic Guardian. I don't think there's really a choice here, so you have to swing for 4. Oh, no, we hit a Marrow. Oh, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, it's interesting to me that I thought somewhat differently than past Juan Cena here, but I guess that's fair. I mean, it's a huge board presence. So he swings the Old Man and Old Woman into Runic Guardian, plays the Tokateo to do 8 damage to Felice, hits me for 7. So now I'm down to 7. And now I'm looking at my hand, and it's like, yeah, there's really not much we can do except hope that he doesn't have a way to out whatever I'm gonna play. You know, like Juno is the best thing I can do right now, but he most likely is gonna be able to out like a Guardian Golem. So we're going to strike over the Steelclad Knight. We're going to turn Juno to crack the last token, and then summon a Guard Form Golem and just kind of hope he doesn't have a way to kill it. But we kind of know at this point, yeah, we're going to game 3. Especially George is gonna making sure I'm not messing this up, right? It does 4 damage or something, but I mean, either way, just the evolve is enough. So he will take that game. We're going into game 3. It looks like we are going first this time. Certainly my preference usually. Looks like we have Teachings of Creation, Witch's Cauldron, Remy and Rami, and then Runic Guardian. So we don't have a turn 2 play, but Runic Guardian on 3 going first is insane. So we're going to just keep this hand, play Teachings of Creation, pass. We play Teachings of Creation instead of the Witch's Cauldron, like I explained in my deck profile video. Witch's Cauldron does not get me a turn 2 play, but Teachings might. So I don't think we end up drawing it, though. So we're going to go ahead and look at the top. We see an Alchemist and a Runic Guardian, but we're going to grab the Alchemist because we already have the Runic Guardian. So George is going to hit me for another one here. And he's on 2 play points, so he's going to play 2 followers. That's just devastating, truthfully. So now we're at a position where if we had a turn 2 play, we'd feel a lot better. But since we didn't, we're going to end up playing Runic Guardian here, making it a 4/6. And I don't normally do this, but I am going to ward this because I am going to hope that he can't out it. And even if he can, like with a Mock Knight, the Mock Knight's going to have to full-on trade with this, and then he just has weenies up that just lose really hard to my Remy and Rami that you could see I had in hand. And I could also use, no, I don't have the Evo points. I was going to say, I think I would have 1 extra point after that, but he is going to play the spell. Look at the top 4. Oh, no, wait, am I missing something? Oh, he played Gem Staff. Sorry. He played the spell, hit the gem staff, and now he's searching with the gem staff. I thought he gem staffed to search the spell, but man, that's not what that does. Okay, I missed that clearly. So spell, gem staff, and then he's going to add probably a Valiant here. Oh, he's gonna add Floral Fencer. Yeah. I mean, yeah, going wide is always great, but yeah, now because of this, because he didn't hit a Mock Knight, he cannot out this Runic Guardian. Pretty crazy, so he's just gonna have to pass. So that Runic Guardian, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, card's devastating. Great in this matchup too. So it looks like we could play the Ancient Alchemist. Not a massive fan of that. I mean, especially at this point in the game, I'd rather just get board presence. So maybe we go for Remy and Ramy here. See, we have a Juno, another Teachings, I think another Cauldron as well. So it looks like we're thinking about the Ancient Alchemist. But I think we're going to play, yeah, Remy and Ramy is probably the best thing, I would say. Just, you know, because it kind of puts him in a position where he's going to be feeling like he wants to trade. And if you can make Sword decide that they need to start trading, you're in a very, very strong winning position. So we have the board presence for sure. We have control of it. We hit for 4 damage. And that 4/6 is just, it never left, you know? Yeah, so having old man and old woman is really, really good for this matchup for sure. Runic Guardian, just crazy, crazy strong. So is Remy and Ramy though. Seriously, is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's like it's kind of like Runecraft's like Floral Fencer but Dragon Warrior as well. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of decks have like a really solid 1 evolve, that's like a 3 or 4 play that outs a single card, you know, like a +1. And this is Runecraft's, and I just love how flexible it is. You know, either outs a follower or just spreads your board, goes wide. It's like Dragon Warrior and Floral Fencer mixed into one. Speaking of Floral Fencer, gonna play the Steel Clad, and yeah, so it looks like he's gonna end up. He has a tough decision to make here. He has got to crash a lot of cards into the Runic Guardian, including the newly evolved Floral Fencer, and then he's gonna hit me for looks like 6, I think, because he has yeah, Gem Staff. Oh no, I guess he's thinking of changing or turning the Swordsman to the side. I forgot about that. So he can turn the Swordsman to the side and then engage the Remy and Ramy and then crash Gemstaff and Quick Blader. Like, I guess he's probably really thinking he really doesn't want to do that. Yeah, so he does end up doing that. So he will trade everything into the Remy and Ramy and kind of just minimize the game state a little, or simplify the game state a little bit. But now, so this is a really good position now for me to drop cards like Juno. Whenever things are really simplified, then I can drop Juno safely, because you can't really drop Juno in like a losing position, I would say. So we're going to drop it, get the free strike from Golem out, crash into the Swordsman, tap, or hit George for 3, and now we're going to crack that last Earthright and get a guard form Golem, and then we're going to pass. Yeah, whenever you can get the Juno out when there's not as much pressure, that's the best time, because Juno is, I don't want to say like it's important to your deck, like you need to see it every game, because you just don't sometimes, but it's certainly helpful if you can bring it out in a position where it's not going to be like it's not an uphill battle. That's the best time, absolutely, for sure. So he plays the Amaro. He's using his spell again. He's going to hit, I don't think, nothing good. Yeah, it looks like the best thing in there is Gem Staff again. Yeah, these whiffs are really hurting him right now, because he certainly wants to see like Mock Knight or even a Valiant Fencer actually would be good, I'm sure. So he's gonna search here. I would say either maybe Narita, Tokateo. I can see him doing another Floral. Yeah, double checking his Evo deck. Yeah, this is the position you want to put. Yeah, another Floral. This is the position that you want to. Oh, I think he forgot to flip his Evo point. This is the position you want to put Sword in, guys. Just kind of like trailing from behind. and then it's very easy to like not give them the lead again. So he has the Amaro. He's gonna swing over the guard form golem. Then Steel Clad can hit me for 2, but he's gonna instead hit the strike form golem just to keep pressure off of him. He is only at 13, so that's fair. And I have no board now, so you see I could actually go for second Juno, and that's when things get really crazy. Oh, I do! Oh, I really didn't think I did. So, so we go strike form golem. Yeah, strike form golem, take out the Amaro, and now we're going to start... I think we're going to start using Junos on each other. We also have Teachings of Creation, too, which could come up for our last play point. So we're going to turn 1 Juno to get an Earthright token, or a Magic Sediment token, I should say. And then we can tap the other Juno to get a guard form golem. I'm pretty sure that's what we end up doing, but we're going to draw a card first. And then we're going to condense to the Magic Sediment token. So then we're going to remove that as well. I don't know why I didn't just crack the Teachings of Creation. I don't know, that's the long way of doing that. But yeah, so now we have infinite guard form golem coming out. You know, or at least always have one at the end of our turns. So he is going to play that Floral Fencer. You can see it. I don't know if you caught it, but in my hand there's a Gingerbread House. That's a really, really great card, and I love to save it. So when he thinks that he's turning things around in his favor, you know, you have Gingerbread House to randomly heal 3 and hopefully thwart those plans. So we're in a good spot. Just slowly, you know, grinding this game out. The longer it goes, the easier it is for us to win. We take 3, we go down to 14. George is a full board, but we got double Juno. So we're not stressing. We are not stressing at all. Looks like the Magic Alchemist is there too. We do have the Rico. You'll see that it's so good against Swordcraft. We're going to attack into the Floral and the Gem Staff. George is just double checking, so we're anticipating Unbridled here, but we're fine with Unbridled because we know that Rico, we know that Rico's not going to live anyway, but we just really want that, you know, 2 spot removal, 3 damage to George's health, and we only have 1 play point left, but it's fine because we have double Juno. We have a free play there, so we're gonna go ahead and use the Gingerbread House with that last play point, and now we can crack both of those Earthright or the Magic Sediment tokens, and that's exactly what we end up doing. So that's why I like Gingerbread House a lot. You have moments like that where you have throwaway points, and it might as well be like a Magic Sediment token and healing 3. So just keep game further and further and further away. So we're gonna play the spell again. George is probably hoping to actually hit something good this time. And I think I saw 2 Unbridled, a Tokateo, so he really only hit the Old Man and Old Woman, which is still a good card. But yeah, this sword kind of sword needs those good hits sometimes too. Unfortunate. Definitely not what you want to see. But you know what, guys? Stacking other people is a skill, okay? All right, I got stacks and I stack my opponent. That's for damn sure. So he's going to crash, buff the Steel Clad to 3/2, and then take out the other guard form, and then I take 1. I'm cool with that. If all I take is 1 from all of that, yeah, you're good. All right, so I'm at 8 play points now. I think what we end up doing here, Magic Alchemist is the perfect, or is like just a great card to do right now. This is, I mean, if you're going first, this is when you could start doing the play. We have a Felice in hand. Looks like we have Remy and Rammy in hand. So if we Ancient Alchemist here, we put George exactly at 4. And which means Felice can close out the game next turn. But I think what we're thinking about here is, you know, what is the likelihood that I might not be able to game him for some reason? But I think we're feeling pretty good about it. Now we convince ourselves that it's the right play. So we bring out a Magic Sediment token with Juno, pop it to get 2 guard form golems, pay another 3 to evolve our Ancient Alchemist. Now we're going to bring up 1 guard form for 1. Deal 3 damage to George, and then we're going to bring up another guard form for 1 and deal another 3 damage to George, putting him at 4 health. And we're going to leave the Ancient Alchemist standing because at this point we have 2 wards. And yes, he has 5 on the board right now. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we're not really concerned with dying here. I think we're considering now, do we want to attack over the knight just to get one more thing off the board? But I think that we're thinking here, like, even with a Valiant Fencer evolving, it's just so unlikely that we're gonna end up dying through this. So George looks like he has a Tokateo. He is a Mock Knight. He's gonna play the Tokateo to out the Ancient Alchemist. So he has 3 play points left, 1 Evo point as well. Yeah, he's used the last of his points to go with Mock Knight, and at that point we already know, like, okay, the game is in fact over. So he does 4 damage to the one golem, attacks over the other golem, and then he's gonna hit me for 4 and put me down to 12. But you know, that's exactly kind of what we anticipate happening, that, you know, he spends too much resources trading into the board that he leaves himself wide open. So now we can finally summon a Magic Settlement token, drop Felice, and storm for the last bit of damage. So that's going to be the match. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you in the next one.